then you already know what's going on here. What's going on? We're getting bigger and bigger, better and better, and we are shitting turds. I mean bricks on any and everybody who said we aren't who we are. Let me throw this receipt in the trash. So, Lions, here we are with episode 12 of my live. Excuse me. Let me drink some of my drink of my live series. And today's topic is very complex. Not really. But before we get started, I want to tell y'all to make sure you're streaming bigger. Make sure you're streaming Ain't No Level FR. You can support the bandcamp links. You can support the bandcamp links. Just my music directly. Also, you can watch the full version of the video that's dropping on my YouTube channel at 12 o'clock. So all those different. What's up, Blackers? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All those different things are in the the description bar below. Well, they will be after I get done posting this, but yeah. So yeah, let's talk sexuality. I want to talk mine included. Um, you know, Sexuality to me is like a little is complicated. It's complicated. But I think it doesn't have to be. I think where I'm at in my life is just about I'm learning to own myself. Own every part of myself. I think my sexuality is part of that. I think it may be the biggest part of that, if I'm being honest. Um, Learning to, because sometimes when you, as a person, I think it's important to know what you believe, and I think if you don't know what you believe, other people's belief can get in your way. For instance, um, just how they say in Christianity, being gays, it sends you to hell. All that stuff, it's like I never really believed it, but it's like now it's like I'm over it. You know what I mean? It's like I'm owning myself. Because it's just it's like I'm getting off centered from what I'm trying to say, but it's just like it's so many different things that are coming up as far as my sexuality, and me owning myself, and it's like I don't even believe in like just the whole um me being who I am is wrong or anything like that, or I'm going to hell for being myself. I feel like that's conflicting, and I feel like I'm waking up to certain things like that. And it's something I want to talk to y'all about behind the scenes, and this was recently, and this is what made me want to talk about this, just my sexuality and just certain things that are making me accept it, and things before that made me not accept it, which was like, religion, Christianity, and just growing up a queer black, man for real. So like recently, I just have been approached with like, people who present this whole, not people, excuse me, men, grown men, men older than me, because I'm only 24, so men that are like 40, 50. The oldest one was 66, and they try to come at me on this type of time where like it's all about God, 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 or it's just this Christian rhetoric. But it's like some sexual, like moves or like sexual undertones, and it's just like, even though I always believed, what I've always believed, as far as like, I don't think people go to hell for being gay or any, I don't believe in that concept or whatever like that. But something that I just realized is that I'm owning myself. I'm owning myself, and the way I think religion has certain people when it comes to their sexuality. Like people are really still scared to come out of the closet. I didn't even know that, and I think I don't know if y'all remember in a couple episodes before I was telling y'all about power dynamics in certain situations and stuff like that, and older these older men have it. I know it's something. It's just something weird recently, like that has just been going on. So like when certain things happen, I just tend to pay attention, and I tend to like try to like see what's going on. And it's just like they come with this whole, yeah, brother, God, 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 but low key it's like they're gay, and it's like they conflicted within themselves, and it's like I'm just learning, like I'm just ripping away that whole system that was given to me when I was a kid, because I just don't feel like it's real. I feel like it's conflicting. It's like, because I just think people are people. Not I think people are people. We're all just people. We're all just souls living in a body, doing our thing. We really all are just, like collages of like essence. You know what I mean? That's what we all are. Um, So yeah, back to just really, like owning myself, owning my truth. So that's really where I'm at with it. Like I remember up just thinking about like, I used to be scared as hell to be, like just be, like accept the fact that I like men. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think the fact that people we have to sit up here and even say like, because when you say things like, yeah, I accepted the fact that I like men, that comes with like a negative connotation. And I think like it kind of puts you down a little bit because somewhere in people's mind is like, they think being gay is like, I'm just over all that shit. Like I'm over all the labels, I'm over it all. Like I'm over it. Like I just, you know? It's like even to the point where I feel like growing up, because I was so like fluid and, like just into myself, I think a lot of gay men may be bisexual, but sometimes like the pressure that comes with people, wanting you to just pick a side, it forces you to pick a side for real. You know, it's a lot of gay men that probably are really bisexual. I would consider myself one, but it's like, I ain't got time for, like in my experience dealing with women, like, well, let me say it like this, because this is not every woman, because there are women out here who love bisexual men and who accept men for who they are. But coming from where I come from, like the ghetto queer black man, most women, even if they do try to like if they do try to like go for you, they still gonna like call you a punk or call you a faggot afterwards. It's like this weird dynamic. It's really weird, and it's like I've been waking up to it, but it's like I'm woke up to it now, and it's like I'm accepting myself, and it's like I don't really care who doesn't like it, because at the end of the day, the shit that's it's fake. Like it's all fake. It's all an illusion. It doesn't matter what I like. And I remember just being in my head. And I watch a lot of documentaries and stuff like that. When it comes to like just male sexuality and specifically black men. How um, they being a gay black man, how it's really not accepted in society like that. And I just think that shouldn't even be a conversation. All this, I'm over it all. I'm really over it. And I'm over it for myself, and I'm really over it for the people. I'm over it for myself, and I'm over for the people. And I'm not just saying like I don't do labels like just in a very crazy radical way, but it's like I don't do labels subtly. Like you can't box me in. You can't. Um, I think sexuality also can be very like complex, like I said earlier on the live, but it's all about acceptance. I think I'm not gonna say we, because I don't know how y'all feel about it, but me as a person, I like to accept people for who they are. I remember being a kid and like seeing like just people of the LGBTQ, and I remember like I was like, that's cool, like that's a vibe, like that's a vibe. And my mama was so like, she was just so homophobic or like whatever phobic. If it was one out there, that's how she was. And I remember she always made me feel uncomfortable, and I think that's the reason why why I was DL. And I remember she told me, she said, Mason, one day she told me, because a parent knows, she said, Mason, gay people get AIDS and they go to hell and die. That's what she told me. Um, and like I remember that. I remember that as far as just being embedded is like, okay, my sexuality is wrong. Me being myself is wrong. You know, Once my mama said it to me, like just or just watching her operate with certain gay men, in certain spaces, and then in the slick of a dime turn around, or not even just my mother, a certain type of woman in general, the way that they want gay men to appraise them or lift them up or be their bag or be oh girl, but it's like they don't really, it's no respect there. They still turn around and they feel like, okay, well, you're still a punk, you're still a gay man. It's something about, I don't know what it is about in society. People feel like being a gay man is like a step down. Like, I don't know. It's something about this hierarchy. I'm seeing it. Can y'all see it? Let me know if y'all can see it. Let me read some of these comments. Good morning. Good morning. Right. But society says we must date a woman, so men feel that they have to be bi and DL. You're definitely right. You want to know something? Thank you, Blakers. Thank you, Blakers. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. I don't even pay attention to the BS, to the haters. I only happens people who love me anyway. So yeah, I remember that. I remember just me always feeling, like different, but it shouldn't even have to be like this whole concept of like, oh, I felt different when I was younger than it. Like, bro, we gotta let it. Like, I'm over it. Like, I, that's just like when some. Let me say it like this. Like, you know how in a situation like when you're out and about and you meet somebody and you're just talking to them in the store and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, like you didn't. You can't tell by looking at them. They're like, yeah, I just beat stage 4 cancer, and like that feeling that comes over you, like of just like it kind of like it kind of like let me hold up. No. That feeling of like when you're out and about and you see a crackhead, you know, or you see a junkie, and it's like, and if you're not really healed, most people will be like, it's just something about it, like in somewhere in people's mind, it makes you below. I think I'm basically applying that back to being a gay man. You know what I mean? That's what people. It's like it's it's just like they try to categorize you or put you in a certain box. Just me with my sexuality. I can't be put in a box. I don't want to be put in a box. I just want to, be fluid, and really love who loves me. I'm not really chasing. I'm just really loving who loves me and doing my thing and focusing on what I'm building for myself. That's just very, 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 very important. Um, so let me see. So that's really just that, that's really just that. I want to just encourage every black man, listen, because listen, it don't matter. It doesn't matter. Every gay black man, DL black man, bisexual black man, um, there's room for you. And if not, I'm gonna make room for you. Because it's all about just, I think you just think about like I just remember like me being so angry growing up and just I think I was DL. It's DL, like it's so many different things that I know once liberation is met with like in sexuality, specifically like for me. And like when I can share and like spread that to other people, it's really gonna be like, crazy it's gonna be crazy. It's so many different things that can happen once black men are given room to really be themselves personally, sexually, whether they're gay, straight, bi, or whatever they choose to be. Um, you know, as far as mental suicide rates, STD rates decreasing, anger management counseling decreasing, family, all these different family issues and things that just come from black men having to just be strong and not really having an outlet in any form of shape, form, or fashion. Those things are very, very, very important to me, because a lot of those things, affected my life, you know, as far as just, being black, young, and just queer, gay, and all those different type of things. Um, that's what it's about: liberating, being liberated, and speaking on certain things, and really owning your truth, owning my truth. That's what this is about. This whole series is about. Um, I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. We're keeping it sexy. We're keeping it hot. We're doing big things in the Lions Den, and it's just so many different things that I'm just finalizing or locking in within myself and stuff like that. And I really appreciate all the love, all the support, everything that y'all been doing, rocking with me, and everything like that. We're keeping it sexy. We're keeping it hot. I will tune in with y'all tomorrow morning for episode 13 tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. We're going to talk about, I think we have a couple more episodes where I get a little bit personal and stuff like that, where I'm just going to be very, open, candid, and just honest, about the things in my life. That's, I brought up everything that I brought up in this series so far. And then we're going to get into like some other fun stuff as we get into like episodes 16, 17, 18, stuff like that. So I'll see y'all tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. Also, I have a behind the scenes video dropping today at 12. Please check that out. The description is in description. Check out the description. I'm looking at my screen right now. I'm so sorry, y'all. Check out the description bar and everything like that. And just make sure y'all keep getting into me like I'm getting into y'all. I love y'all. I'm rocking with y'all. I appreciate y'all. And just know we're keeping it sexy. We're keeping it hot. And I'll see y'all very, 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 very soon. À bon soir.